All right, so I'm on my way to go get my hair cut, and I haven't done it in a while, clearly. Why do I still feel like a 6-year-old kid that if you cut my hair, it's going to hurt or it's just an inconvenience? I think part of it is that I hate that I have to shower to go get my hair cut. But then they cut my hair, and I'm a male, so they use trimmers and edgers and all that stuff, right? To get the little stuff, and those little tiny dinky hairs stick to me, and then they like ingrain themselves into my skin, into every pore, and that kills me. That kills me because I hate the itchiness of the after the haircut. So I get changed, dressed, cleaned up. I go to the barbershop. I get my beauty on, and then I'm instantly burning ass back to the house just to get, because I can feel each individual hair that was a huge bug, burrowing itself square into my soul via my epidermis. It kills me. So there's that. The second side of the equation is that I absolutely hate just the waiting part of it. The most awkward place. When I was a kid, we had barbershops, and the barbershops would have a variety of adult magazines, whether it was Penthouse, Playboy. Yeah, it was one of those barbershops. The old school one with the creepy 80s guy that was probably in Nam, and he would have his Playboys put on there, but he would like either Sharpie out or cut out his address on them, but we knew where they were being delivered because it's a small town and everybody knows where that person lived. Anyway, not the point. That's the barber side of it. But the only haircut that they could physically do was short all around. Like you go, can I get it tapered? And you go, yeah, and then just buzz your ass. Oh, can I get a flat top? Yeah, we can do that. And then you'd take out this big comb and buzz your ass. So there was one type of haircut, and I blame my father for it because my father was the catalyst for why I always got a buzz cut. Because one time I got to pick my haircut, and I was like, well, I like my hair kind of the way it is. Just take some off the edges, because that's what I heard my mom say, and clean it up. And I went to like Supercuts, which was a really cool place back then because it didn't stink like old man and barbershop sweat. Anyway, point being, and they did that, and my father was pissed because he spent $7 for that haircut. I can remember the price, but I can't remember the name of the person or anything like that. So $7 haircut my father was irate about because it didn't cut enough. So then we spent $5 at the barbershop, the one with the porn magazines, to get me buzzed. And I said just a little off the top, and he took it all off the top. Like I was going into the military. Like boot camp was inevitable at 6 years old. And then the next day I'd be shipped off. That really bugged me. More haircut shenanigans. When I was older, and I'll say 17, 18, 19, in the Bay Area, there used to be this very pretty Latina haircutter lady at Supercuts where I lived, and she was very blessed, if you know what I mean. Very, very blessed. And I'm very tall, so I was very blessed to have her blessings rubbing all over me while she was cutting my hair. And at 19 years old, 17, 18, 19 years old, that's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I really looked forward to haircuts in that chapter of my life. Now I'm getting older and my hairline's receding. So when I get a haircut now, I realize how far back the hairline's getting. I used to have, naturally I had a 5 head, right? And I blame that on my mom. my mom's 5 head and my natural progression, I think gravity is just grabbing onto my hair and then pulling it back. Not indifferent to like what a girl goes through with a ponytail that she pulls too tight, right? You always seem to lose the hair in the front. It's essentially the same thing. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like going to get a haircut. I'm doing all this on my way to go get a haircut. One of the things I like, but I didn't think I would like, is the oh yeah, come on in, giant truck. Did you not know you were turning up here? Anyway, one of the things I like doing is the nose waxing. And I'll tell you why, before everybody goes in the comments of you're an idiot. I don't like those long tentacles that come out of someone's nostrils. And everybody knows exactly as to what I'm speaking about. Those hairs that just seem to come down and grab food particles and possibly feed themselves. not different than a certain type of animal from the ocean. Anyway, I hate the antenna tentacles that come out of your nose when you're not upkept. And the auger only works so good. I swear it's like the dullest blade ever. So it ends up just pulling individual hairs out of your brain, and that hurts. And when they do it with wax, it's one big giant fail swoop, and it's one man tier, and you're off and running. And I believe you breathe better instantaneously. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you breathe better from the very get-go of having those hairs extracted in mass quantities in one fell swoop. Like it's refreshing. You're like, ah. So there's that. The other thing I do like is putting my trust into someone's hands with a straight razor. I like getting the straight razor cut. I only do it like once every, 3 to 4 months. The rest of the time, I kind of just trim it up myself because I hate the scratchiness. That you don't care about that. What you should care about is that is a huge amount of trust that I am placing in the hands of somebody I hope is a skilled barber. Or, yeah, a barber. Because you got to have those skills to be doing that part, right? So, yeah. Like one hiccup, one balloon popping while they're going right here. And a balloon pops and it's over. James is dead at the salon. My wife calls it a salon. I can't stop calling it a salon. Another reason I hate going to get my hair cut. My wife goes, okay, honey, have a great time at the salon. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, well, you really screwed that up, because now I don't want to go, because now I think I'm some punk ass that goes to the salon. And then I'm like, but they do pedicures there. Maybe I should do a pedicure, get them nails. And then I'm like, oh my God, I am going to the salon. I'm going to the male version of a salon. And the fact that she calls it that, I can't think of a better name or word or terminology for it that would make it sound more manly. And it doesn't even have to be so much manly as it has to be less feminine, because I think that's what makes me back up a little bit and go, oh, no, don't call it that. Don't call it that. I mean, I go with my wife and daughter to the toe place. I don't the hoofer. Yeah, so there's that. I do that. I don't know. I got something in my eye now. Now I'm going to be looking at my barber like, yeah, I'd like a little short off the top. And can you do my nose hairs? Oh, okay. I think I got it. Yeah. Huh. So yeah, that's 10 minutes of me ranting and raving about the barber. And I still haven't got there. Because I live kind of rural, and I have to pass 17 barbers on the way here, one of which I've tried. But I just like this one best because the lady that does it and she's cool. And there's a couple of them actually. There's my primary, my backup, and my secondary or tertiary, and that's a comfort level. It took me 3 years to build up here in Texas, and it doesn't help having a beer before. It doesn't. I go in there and I'll have a beer, and I'm still just as worked up as if I didn't have a beer. And it's 12:30 on a weekday, so it's probably not the best time to be drinking a beer, because there's a lot of people in there that are going, "Wow, alcoholism, huh, buddy?" And I'm like, "No, I'm retired." So every time after, I don't know, say lunchtime is 5 o'clock for me. What are you gonna do? Anything else? Any other fears? When I was a kid, I used to have a cowlick, which is the dumbest name for when your hair sticks up straight up like alfalfa, right? A cowlick. And I still have it, I'm sure. I just stopped caring. I think my whole hair is a cowlick now. Not the point. Yeah, so that's a dumb term. And then I have this to say. My father always parted his hair, oh God, on the left, right? That's when he was dressed up and going out nicely. Otherwise, it just flopped down exactly like my hair does. I inherited his hair, sort of, except for the 5 head that my mom gave me. And in that, I used to part mine on the right. I don't know why. I think it's because my mother started doing it. And that was, the total 80s. You comb your hair before you go out, and you would do the part. And then I got really cool, and I kind of started parting it in the middle, which is great until you break your nose a half dozen times and your nose turns to a certain direction. And then parting it in the middle just makes your nose look more crooked, which is neither here nor there. But yeah. And then my father used to be like, "You know who parts their hair on the right?" And I go, "No, who?" And he goes, "Gay people." And then I thought I was gay because I parted my hair on the right, which I'm not. My wife will attest to that, I hope. Maybe. Doubt it. She'll probably hang me out to dry, to be honest. But either way, this is the endurance of life that I had to go through. And now that I'm getting ready to pull into the area of the barbershop, that's it for now. But I will come back at the end and do a, "Hey, I got my hair cut," and do a couple of pictures, and then we'll call that a video. Have a great day. All right, fresh and clean, looking cleaned up, not so scruffy, not so scraggly, but I did figure out that there is a new fear initiated. That is the alcohol after the straight razor. Ooh. And during this, someone said, "I almost put my finger in your nose," while I had a towel wrapped around my face. And I thought it was the salon specialist, I guess is the word, talking to me. And I may have had a small panic attack for a second there, thinking that they were going to, put their fingers up my nose. All right, this is the end. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.